If you're a business owner or even a busy parent who's heard all this hype about AI and ChatGPT, but you don't even know where to start, this video is for you. I'm going to show you 8 simple real-life ways that you can use ChatGPT in your business or even in your daily life to save you time, money, and grow without bringing in more people. AI is not about replacing people. It's about giving you the right tools to work smarter and amplifying what you already have. So with that, let's get into it. So what exactly is ChatGPT? ChatGPT is one of many LLMs, which stands for Large Language Model. I tend to think of it as an AI assistant that you can talk to like a person. You can ask it questions, you can give it tasks, and it responds instantly like a virtual assistant that works for you 24/7. I personally use the paid version, which gives you better responses, live web access, and more tools. But everything I'm going to show you today works even if you're just starting with the free version. So before we dive into the use cases and everything that AI and ChatGPT can do for you, we need to talk a little bit about prompts. So what is a prompt? I could give you a really fancy definition, but basically a prompt is what you type into the chat bar on ChatGPT or any other LLM. And here's the big tip. What you put into ChatGPT matters. If you have a clear prompt, you get a better answer. The phrase that gets used a lot in the industry is garbage in, garbage out. Meaning if you have a bad prompt, the answer you're going to get is probably going to be very simple and generic. It's not necessarily going to be bad. It's just not going to be as good as it could be. A good prompt will change everything. Down the road, I'm going to create a whole video about prompting and how you can create great prompts to get great answers. But for right now, I'm just going to give you the basic formula. There are 4 parts to a good prompt. You need to give your prompt a role, context, task, and format. So I'm going to give you 2 examples. Here is a simple example of a bad prompt and a better prompt. All right, so right now I'm going to show you what a bad prompt looks like. So right now I'm just going to copy, paste, bad prompt. Write a business plan. So there's no role, there's no context, there's no format. Very basic, very generic. Probably going to get a very basic and generic answer. All right, so still works, it works very quickly. You go down through it, it's very generic, very simple, doesn't really give you a lot to work with. So right here, it's already asking for more context. So let's give it a better prompt and see what it does with that. So we're going to give it a role, we're going to give it some more context. Act as a business coach, create a 1-page business plan for a cleaning company focused on Airbnb properties with recurring revenue built in. Much better, still not great, but definitely better. Yeah, so here it gives you an executive summary, a specialized cleaning company focused on Airbnb and short-term rental properties, gives you a mission, target market, service and pricing, unique value proposition. Yeah, so this is 10 times better. It's still not as great as it could be, but it asks for a better format, so you could do a PDF, you could do Google Docs, you could do all kinds of things. But see how just a little bit more work in your prompt can completely change the answer you get from ChatGPT. So moving forward with the use cases, we're going to use some better prompts, even better than this prompt up here. So now we're going to work on some everyday use cases. So even if you're not a business owner, maybe you're just a busy parent and want to see how AI can help you navigate through your day or through your week, we're going to give you some use cases and show you what AI can do to help you. The first use case that I'm going to demonstrate today is weekly planning. This is something that I do every week, no matter what. When you actually sit down and look back at your schedule, it's pretty amazing how much time we waste. The best way that I've found to combat that is to plan my weeks in advance. This does take time and effort, but ChatGPT definitely helps with the process. All right, so let's show you what ChatGPT can do for your weekly plan. So I've already wrote this out. I'm just going to copy and paste it in there for simplicity. So right here at the top, you have the role, act as my productivity coach. You're going to give it a little bit of context. So you have work from 9 to 5. You wake up at 6:30. Sleep time, 10:30. You have your key weekly goals. So I want to do 3 gym sessions a week, preferably mornings. daily family dinners, rest days, anything else you want to do, admin, planning sessions. It shows you how you would like it to be formatted right here. And then it also right here says, please organize my week in a day-by-day schedule using a format that mirrors Google Calendar time blocks, because I use Google Calendar and I think Google Calendar is amazing. So we're going to see what that spits out. So this is what a good prompt can do for you. Here's a sustainable, buffer-friendly week that hits all your goals. So look how detailed this is. So wake up at 6:30, hit the gym, works in a shower and breakfast, commute time. Obviously a lot of this is going to depend on what your schedule is, but this is just, basic. It works in errands, like getting groceries, planning meals. But yeah, so there's that. And then here's the cool part. So at the bottom here, do you want me to turn this into a Google Calendar that you can import? So it'll make you a link that you can import directly into Google Calendar, and it will autofill all of this right in there. So you'll have that on the Google Calendar app on your phone, which is pretty amazing. So use case number 2, we're going to use ChatGPT for meal and grocery planning. Maybe you're a busy parent, or maybe you just live a busy lifestyle and don't want to think about your meals every day. I've already typed up a prompt. Right, so for our meal and grocery planning, I wanted to start laying these out so you could see what I was doing better. There's the role, the context is right there, the task is right there, and the format is right there. So we're going to submit that. For you busy parents, this prompt won't probably work for you. You'll want to tweak it a little bit, because I am creating this for one adult at $100 a week for all 5 days. So if you're a busy parent, you got kids, if you can spend $100 a week for all the kids, shoot me a DM, because I need to know your secrets. Look at this. So here is a 5-day meal plan, and it gives you a daily total each day of what these meals are going to cost you roughly, which is insane. It gives you breakfast, lunch, and dinner. So here you go. Scrambled eggs, toast, half an avocado, whatever you want to do. And however you eat, you can just plug that into the prompt and all of this will change. So if you're a vegetarian, or you don't like chicken, or whatever the issues, if you're allergic to something, if you have a gluten intolerance, you can plug that into the prompt and it's going to adjust all of these answers. Look at that. It gives you a full 5-day breakdown for meals, grand total of $41.50. Gives you a grocery list. Obviously these prices are estimated, and a lot of that's going to depend on where you are in the nation or in the world. But anyways, pretty crazy. So you can take that grocery list, you can take that right into the supermarket with you. Then you don't have to think about what you're getting, and you will be all set. So I love this prompt. It saves you time, it saves you money, decision fatigue. It's great if you're juggling family and business. ChatGPT is also great at generating meal ideas. So if there was something in that answer that you saw that maybe you didn't like, you can just ask ChatGPT. Maybe you look in your fridge and say, hey, Chat, this is what I got. What can I make out of this? And it'll throw out some pretty cool recipes. So use case number 3, we're going to try using ChatGPT for a travel itinerary. So maybe you're going on a family vacation, or you're going to go see some loved ones in another part of the world or another state, and you want to make the most of it. So let's make a trip out of it. Let's see what ChatGPT can do for us in that case. All right, so once again, I'm going to paste our prompt in there. Act as a professional travel planner and local Nashville guide. It gives you the context, the task, and the format day by day. So look at this. It gives you day 1, day 2, day 3, and then it gives you a little highlight recap, lays everything out, activity highlights, even gives you costs. So, the Bicentennial Mall and Museum is free. The Country Music Hall of Fame gives you $27 per adult. The zoo, the Centennial Park and Parthenon. Yeah, so this is awesome. And I've actually heard of a couple of these places. I've heard Edley's Barbecue. I've heard that's great. I've heard of Hattie B's. I've heard Hattie B's is awesome. So if we plan a trip to Nashville, I'm definitely going to check some of these places out. Now, obviously, you can take this prompt and you can adjust it for wherever you're going or what you want to do depending on the times your flights get in or times you leave. But it's a pretty good starting point, and you can take this and adjust it to however you want. So now we're going to see how you can use ChatGPT in your business. This brings us to use case number 4. So we're going to use ChatGPT to write emails and replies. And this is a great way to make sure that you always sound professional. We're going to use ChatGPT to write us email responses. So here's the role. Act as a professional client success manager, writing a courteous but effective follow-up email. Gives you the context. So this context is the recipient missed their scheduled appointment. Here's the task. Write up a follow-up email that includes acknowledgement that they missed their appointment, a polite and understanding tone, no blame, etc., and then the format. So let's see how our AI assistant treats our client that missed their appointment. So in a couple seconds, it spit out this really nice tailored email. And it even gives you a link to reschedule if you have Google Calendar or Calendly or something like that. Just gives you some blanks that you could fill in with the client's name and your assistant's name, or you or whoever's sending this email. So this is a great way to draft an email that you might normally have trouble drafting because you might be upset or not know exactly what to say. So ChatGPT definitely helps out with these cases. You can tweak this prompt to have whatever voice you want. You can make it sound like an assistant, or you can make it sound like yourself. This brings us to use case number 5. And what we're going to do is we're going to have ChatGPT help us draft a standard operating procedure or an SOP. So for this prompt, we are going to have our role set as an operations manager who's going to create an SOP for us. The context is going to be an SOP for onboarding new clients into a business. The task is to create an SOP, and it lays out the purpose and scope, roles and responsibility, step-by-step onboarding process, and the format is in an SOP style format, very formal, structured document with headings, bullet points, and numbered steps. If you had to sit there and try to do this from scratch, it could take you hours. So I'm sure, depending on your business and what you're looking to accomplish, you might have to go in here, tweak a few things, but for the most part, this is a pretty all-inclusive SOP that would probably need very little adjustment. So right here at the end, it shows you how you want it formatted, PDF, Word doc, or a Google Doc. If you're a business owner, you understand how important SOPs are to any business. They help your team or contractors stay consistent, and ChatGPT helps you get this done very fast. This brings us to use case number 6. We're going to use ChatGPT to help us with our social media and marketing. We're going to do this one because it's 2025, and if you're a business owner, you also kind of have to be a content creator. All right, back at it again. Let's see how Chat can help us with our social media. So here's our role. Act as a social media marketing expert, specializing in service-based business, because the example that we're going to use is a mobile service company. It could be cleaning, repair, detailing, lawn care. Just to make this a little more detailed, I'm going to change this a little bit. So we are going to do a mobile detailing service company that wants to use Instagram to attract more leads, more local leads. Here's the task: create 5 Instagram captions. So here's the format: provide caption text, call to action, and a hashtag set. So let's see if ChatGPT can help us blue collar people learn how to use social media. Here you go. Seconds later, here's caption 1, the time saver. Too busy to drop your car off for a wash? We bring the shine to you. That's awesome. All right, caption number 2, the mom van makeover. Goldfish crackers and seats, juice stains on the floor. This is wonderful. I've found that most blue-collar people don't think about social media much, and in the day and age of which we live, social media is probably one of your best marketing tools. So I think this could definitely help the blue-collar guys or blue-collar workers that are kind of stuck in the old-fashioned mindset. This could definitely help. So if you're a business owner and you're really good at what you do, but you're not really good at marketing yourself, and getting yourself out in front of people, this is a great way to get unstuck. So how can you use ChatGPT to make money? Well, there are multiple ways that you could use ChatGPT to make money, but here are a few simple examples that could help. This is going to bring us to use case number 7. So we're going to create lead magnets and offers with ChatGPT. Here's the role: act as a digital marketing strategist who specializes in home service businesses. We're going to stick with that theme for now. The goal is to help home service business owners, plumbing, cleaning, landscaping, HVAC, etc., learn how to improve their online reviews on platforms like Google, Yelp, Facebook. The task: create a 7-day email course that includes daily lesson breakdowns, clear subject line, and then the format: present the response as a structured outline with day 1 through 7, and then for each day, subject line, email body, intro, lesson. So here's the format: present the response as a structured outline, day 1 through 7, and then each email. A couple seconds later, gives you day 1 through day 7, gives you a little intro, gives you the lesson. So it talks about reviews, action steps, gives you a little teaser for the next day. Day 2, how to automate review requests so you'll never forget again. So this is a great little course that you could use if you are an actual digital marketer just to get more leads, or I'm sure you could charge a couple bucks for this and give people action steps that they can use in their businesses. So this is a great way to generate another stream of income into your business, and it also helps others by sharing the valuable skills that you have. So this brings us to our final use case, which is number 8. We're going to use ChatGPT to generate a cold outreach script. Maybe you're a local business owner that's just starting out or trying to generate more leads. This is a great way to use ChatGPT to write you a script that you can either use in an email, a text, or a cold call. So here we have our prompt. Again, we have our role, context, task, and the format. So this particular prompt, we're going to use it to write a cold DM script. Our context is going to be for an automation consultant reaching out to local business owners, and your goal is to offer a free demo that shows how automation can save them time, reduce costs, and improve efficiency. A couple seconds later, gives you 3 variations of your cold outreach DM as an automation consultant. So you have a super short version, 1 to 2 sentences, a friendly, casual version, 3 to 4 sentences, and then you also have a professional but approachable version that you could use in LinkedIn or in an email. And then down here, it asks, would you like a version tailored for a specific niche? So maybe you're an automation specialist and you're focusing on a plumbing company, HVAC, landscaping, whatever. You could do the same thing but tailor it for a specific niche. If you're doing cold outreach, you don't need a big agency. You just need a message that lands with your client, and ChatGPT helps you craft it. With ChatGPT Plus, you can even build your own GPT, which is basically a version of ChatGPT which is trained to do exactly what you want it to do. For example, I built one that acts as a personal finance manager for my own household budget. You can create your own digital personal finance specialist without writing a single line of code. Here's one last thing. ChatGPT has a lot of use cases, but it also has some limitations and some ways that you should use it wisely. Because in the end, ChatGPT is not a human, it's a tool. It can make mistakes, so be aware of the information that you give it, but also don't completely trust that every answer that it gives you is going to be 100% true. But if you got it properly, it's probably one of the most powerful tools that we have today, either as business owners or just in general. So to wrap things up, AI is here and it's not going away, but the people who learn how to use it are going to be the ones that get ahead. If you're a business owner who wants to integrate AI but doesn't know where to start, please subscribe to this channel. I make videos just like this to help people like you take the guesswork out of tech. And if you want the list of prompts that I used in this video, I put the link down in the description.